Hello Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising, and welcome to October. I'm Shannon from Home Alchemy Astrology, and October is going to be big. We're finishing up a series of eclipses in Libra and your sign. The last one will be March of 2025, happening in your first house or conjuncting your sun or moon. I'm going to try to keep this short and sweet. However, I feel like I always just have too much information to give at these times. We're kind of going through big epic shifts and changes with the shifting of the nodes in January and these eclipses, and there's just a lot going on. All right, so the solar eclipse on October 2nd in Libra will be at 10 degrees, will be happening in your 7th house of other, partnerships, marriage, business, close personal relationships. Also, the public can be represented by the 7th house. And this eclipse will conjunct Mercury and the South Node, repeating a pattern that had started last October 2023. This had happened exactly then with the solar eclipse in Libra conjuncting Mercury. And anyway, there'll be a continuity with the story. This could be with a lover, a close relationship, or a business partner that will unfold now and within the next 6 months. This Aries Libra cycle will complete next March. I know I just mentioned that. It will be March 29th, and it will be happening in your first house. Finishing these, cycle of new stories around you, your identity, your place in the world at large, past lives and karma. Has been in Libra, the South Node, in your 7th house since July of 2023. And maybe you had, or you will still have, a past life person come in through that 7th house portal, eclipse portal. And it could have been a person that you even had a contract with in a past life, maybe even a person younger than you, because Mercury is represented here. And Mercury rules contracts, people younger than you, communication, the written and spoken word. This person also possibly came through last year in October, and maybe through a community that you're a part of, anything that would be 3rd or 6th house, which is they are Mercury's home. So the 3rd house is local community, neighborhood, also small business, communication, social media. The 6th house is your day-to-day routines, the work that you do for a living. So somebody could have come through and connected through those houses, through 3rd or the 6th, and came through that 7th house into partnership with you. Okay, so Mercury rules your 6th house, which I just mentioned, the work that you do for a living. It's not the work that we love, it's the work that we kind of just have to do day to day. And you may come into some new lucrative business alliances or contracts that will also bring you tangible resources or more refined way of living, as Venus is the depositor of this eclipse, and Venus in Libra is very refined. Venus in Taurus, because Venus rules Taurus too, is more like earthy, sensual. This possibly is repeating that pattern that came in last October. This eclipse is at the Saturn degree, 10 degrees, and it also conjuncts the South Node. Both of them represent past lives and karma. If someone new does come into your life now or over the next 6 months, I really feel that they'll be from a past life into that 7th house. Let's see, maybe you've already met that person a year ago and now they have become your lover or a serious business partner, and they are the ones getting these new fortuitous contracts that are happening in that 7th house with all this activity at this time. The house of other is so lit up now with the sun, the South Node, the solar eclipse, Mercury, Lilith. I mentioned the vertex, but the vertex kind of shifts throughout this day. But everything's kind of piled up in here. And because Lilith is here, this could also be a taboo situation that you have been trying to keep under wraps, but may be exposed now with the sun here and kind of lighting up this area. I'm sorry for the crows. I have a lot of them, and hawks in my backyard. I'm up in my tree house hiding from everyone right now. So the taboo situation could also be like a big age gap, or maybe this person is like your business manager, somebody that you work with, in business. Could be somebody from another culture, somebody from a different religion at this time. Lilith can also represent you wanting to break free from a partner in business or love, or you're just needing more space at this time. There's a widow star called Vindimeatrix from the Virgo constellation. In lower terms and more scarier terms, it's known as the Widowmaker for a female, and for a male, it's known as a mischief maker. I think there's a couple celebrities that actually have this star prominent. I think it's like Drew Barrymore and Leonardo DiCaprio. So don't be afraid, because I don't think they've had a death of a loved one. So it doesn't have to mean that in such like, crazy terms. For males, it could mean mischief or disgrace somehow, revealing something that you want to keep under wraps that can bring damage. There's that. So it doesn't have to literally mean losing a spouse or a fall from grace, but it could be a separation due to the need for freedom. So it could be, I can spin it that way for you. Vindimeatrix also represents the gathering of a grape harvest. It's tied to wine, and sometimes in relation to Bacchus or Dionysus, the gods of wine and drunken debauchery. So maybe you need to watch out for getting too drunk around this time on wine or drink, embarrassing yourself with bad behavior. Just something to watch out for. I'm throwing a lot of things, out there. I'm kind of casting a wide net. But yeah, I really see somebody else here for you at this time, or becoming very prominent for you over the next 6 months. Could also unfold up to a year. If you don't already know them, you may meet someone over this time and you will recognize them almost immediately. And they absolutely 110% will be from the past life. Your Scorpio house, the 8th house of sex, death, rebirth, transformations, deep intimacy, deep intimate bonding, the occult, tarot, astrology falls here. Loans, taxes, money that you don't earn but that you can receive comes through this house as well. Sometimes an inheritance, again, it doesn't have to be a death. Somebody could bequeath you, money while they're still alive. I've actually seen those situations before. Venus is in this house, lighting up all those aforementioned topics. And since she rules your 7th and is the depositor of this eclipse and is in the 8th house, there could be a passionate affair that's unfolding, and it will be intense because this is Scorpio's home territory after all. And something's definitely going on here. And this is especially prominent if you have Aries rising, 5 to 15 degrees. Sun or moon, not so much. I mean, you can feel things more on an emotional level. If it's your moon, if it's your sun, it relates to more career, or it could be father figures, your health. So what you want to always do, and when astrologers are forecasting, we're forecasting from your first house, the Ascendant. And what I'll do is I'll link astro.com and AstroSeek down in the description box down below. As long as you know your birth time, you should be able to get a fairly accurate chart, and that will show you where these houses are. Okay, but yeah, if you're in a committed relationship, this could be you and another having new beginnings in how you communicate as a couple, more graceful way of talking to each other, talking over deep problems, with both parties being heard. A new balance can be struck, so to speak, kind of eliminating an old way of existing and an old way of you and your significant partner handling things. You could also just have new beginnings in general with business or your marriage partner, or that's someone that you met last October. And surprise, you're getting married now, moving everything to that 8th house of sharing in every way, intimacy, resources, finances, etc. Your ruler Mars is in your 4th house of Cancer at this time, squaring the sun up in the 7th, causing a little bit of like a buildup of pressure, or possibly disagreeing with a partner in love or business. You could be feeling a little angry, frustrated, irritated for whatever reason. The best way to deal with this is to compromise, find that middle ground. That's the Libra's way, Libra's cup of tea. If this is with a lover, you could retreat to the bedroom or somewhere away from prying eyes. It is your Scorpio secretive 8th house. And The 12th house Pisces, which can represent bed pleasures and foreign shores, rest and seclusion, is also lit up at this time with a grand water trine of flowing energy from your 4th of home and family, 8th of sex, death, rebirth, transformation, taboo things can fall there, and then the 12th house of bed pleasures and rest and seclusion. All these are hidden houses. They're also liberation houses, so you may not really want to be social right now. Again, I think you really will want to be away from the public or from prying eyes. You could be frustrated maybe because you can't get that privacy that you want at this time, and that could be the Sun-Mars energy square. If there isn't anyone special in your life right now or established at the moment, you could be using this time to work on creative projects for business or pleasure, and this would be away from prying eyes, and it's a great time to do so. You could tap into some really deep, intuitive, creative energy with these water houses being lit up in a trine of flow. You could, last but not least, be signing lucrative contracts with foreigners, foreign shore businesses, or people from a different country than yours. Maybe it's a piece of land or property because Cancer is involved. Cancer represents your 4th house. You could have found this property or piece of land while traveling, and maybe you fell in love with it, and it may be near water, and you can secure a loan with Venus up in that 8th house Scorpio for that property. And you could, with Venus there, you could secure a great rate on that loan, or more money than you had anticipated could come through. You can also earn money when you're not there, if it's like an Airbnb or a second home or a rental property. Because Venus is imprinted at this time, I think it will be a property that you will really love and can definitely somehow yield money for you, even if you refurbish it and sell it at a later date. Okay, also at this time there can be a smooth transition in your emotions because we have a stabilizing trine, a flow. And these emotions could be stabilized with a partner or a family member or somebody from your home. Because Saturn is in the 12th and represents like deep subconscious patterning, and is trining over to Mars in your 4th house of home and family, and Venus is up there in the 8th, so maybe these are transformational topics or things that have caused pain in the past or where we may have had a wound. But with this water trine, it's a flow of ease and stability. These are liberation houses where we store deep wounding, childhood conditioning, emotional trauma, family patterning. Maybe you haven't had a lot of trauma, but there is an ancestral pattern that can be uprooted now, so to speak, leading to a smoother transition for you, a partner, and your family members or people that are close to you. This inner transformation can be a healing, a self-worth story as well later in the month when the full moon will conjunct Chiron in your sign. That will happen on the 17th. I'll get to that in just a minute. I do see another trine happening on this day of the solar eclipse as well, with Pluto sitting on the line of your 10th Capricorn house, getting ready to fully shift into that 11th house of Aquarius in November. Uranus is in Taurus, sitting in your 2nd house of money, values, and banking, and getting ready to head to the third Gemini house, where Uranus will be much happier. And you also have Neptune sitting on the line of your 12th house of faraway shores, foreign money, many things, hospitals, prisons, ashrams, rest, seclusion. Large animals fall in the 12th house, like whales and ocean. Anyway, Neptune will be moving into your 1st house soon. This is quite significant as these slower outer moving planets are wrapping up a story now and a stay in that 10th house of career, in that 12th house of foreign shores, in that 2nd house of income, banking, and self-worth, and immediate family. A story is definitely ending there around those topics, and with this trine, it's a smooth transition and flow. And between the way that you make money, your 2nd house, your 10th house of career could be shifting and titles could be changing in the things that you're doing. And the 12th house of faraway shores, foreign currency, creative projects, music, spirituality fall there. Getting ready for a whole new chapter that will involve your 1st house with Neptune heading there in March of 2025, right after that last solar eclipse in your sign, which can herald a new you coming into the spotlight in that 10th house. Maybe via like media. Neptune rules like the visual arts, like Instagram, YouTube, TV, screens. Uranus will move to your 3rd house, which represents all forms of communication and social media. Your career could have underwent a massive change, and what you will be known for will be quite different than what you've done for the past 16 years or so, as Pluto shifts from that 10th house to the 11th of social justice movements, Aquarian groups, large groups, celebrities, internet. You could become known in the coming years as a media or online celebrity who leads, as Aries is cardinal fire energy, a spiritual warrior who spearheads like social justice movements, humanitarian movements. Maybe because of this flowing trine, you've made quite a bit of money now, and you have like the status and power and influence to help the masses, thus changing how you will become known in the coming years. Uranus rules Aquarius and will be in your 3rd house for many years to come, and it will be much happier in the sign. And this could be taking you to lead in your local community and to protect. Aries protects and defends, and you will be given much power to do so, with Pluto and Uranus in a positive flow to your sun, moon, or ascendant to protect the people, a marginalized people, an unprotected group of people, or children that may have been harmed in some way. Is the 3rd house represents young children, elementary children, middle school, lower education. Last but not least, the full moon will be in your sign on October 17th at 24 degrees and conjuncting Chiron, affecting Aries, sun, moon, or rising from 20 to 28 degrees. Also the cardinal signs, which are Cancer, Capricorn, and Libra, who are all in kind of high, high profile at this time. You could be looking at emotions or wounds that come up now, or feeling exposed, dealing with esteem or self-worth issues. It could be coming from a deep place, even the subconscious, possibly around a father figure or from childhood. It's a time to take care of and be kind to yourself. Find a place to express these emotions with a trusted person or therapist or healer, so you can acknowledge and release them. You know, at this time, Jupiter and Gemini in your 3rd house will make a flowing sextile to this moon and trine the sun in Libra. So communication with a partner or possibly a therapist could really heal you at this time. Jupiter in the house of the mind also can help make a smooth transition and changing the way that you think and feel about these wounding stories, putting them into perspective, and ultimately giving you the power to change the story going forward. I think these are some things I'll leave you with. I'm sorry this was long. I'll post all the other dates in the description box for things like when Mercury shifts and Venus and the sun. But I just wanted to give you these like big picture ideas and stories instead of drilling down into all the minute like details of the month. It's a very special eclipse and several trines going on that I see for you. So ultimately, I think it's going to be a very beautiful month for you, Aries, and in the months and years to come. So take care. We'll see you in November. I apologize for looking down so much. I had to look at my computer a lot, and yeah, long story. Anyway, please like, share, subscribe, help my channel grow. This is not what I do for my day-to-day work. I have a whole different other career, but my goal one day is to fully dive into this, and also a book that I'm working on trying to publish. So I have much going on. So, all right, Aries, we'll see you in November.